Okay, so since we've been inundated with Gypsy Rose Blanchard content since her release from prison, I thought I'd pull out some cards and kind of focus on her energy, mainly her marriage to her husband Ryan, which I think is one of the more interesting component of her new beginning and her new journey. There's a lot of discussion on whether all this social media exposure, all this TV exposure that she's been receiving is actually healthy for her. Ryan seems to be very supportive and all that, from what we can see on the television. But the cards had a lot to say, and I was actually very surprised by the outcome that I personally received. So I'm going to share it with all of you guys. Starting with the Three of Wands in reverse, I think that Ryan was not ready for the magnitude and the caliber of how much attention they were going to receive. He does care about Gypsy. That did really translate in the card, and he wants her to be as happy and as beautiful and content as she can be in the Knight of Pentacles. And he doesn't really know where to begin. That was a huge element that came out in the card, and the way that they have been followed and exposed is actually really hard on Ryan. That did come through in the cards as well, with the High Priestess and the Empress in reverse. So you have a lot of insecurities coming through. You have a lot of maybe not feeling good enough. That Ryan definitely feels the pressure mounting and feels the responsibility of providing this lifestyle for Gypsy that she was accustomed to in the past. But also, because of all this attention that she's getting, there's a little bit of a celebrity status that's attributed to her right now. And Ryan definitely feels like he may not be good enough for her at the moment, but he is willing to do whatever he can to make his wife happy. You do have the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles talks about providing, giving money. In this particular scenario, I think this is just Ryan being the sole provider and the sole breadwinner in their marriage. But there's definitely also an element of living beyond their means. So financial struggles did come through as well. I think that Gypsy definitely has a standard and a little bit of an entitlement to living comfortably and being used to at the time while she was living with her mom, receiving and getting gifts and trips. And even though it was a terribly unhealthy living situation, there were definitely a lot of doting and a lot of giving in. And I think that Gypsy still has a little bit of that inside of her. But but whether or not that is even in question, there's definitely living beyond their means came through in the reading. I do see longevity in their marriage. I think that they will stay together 12 years, but there's far more than what I thought that they would actually withstand. Wouldn't have given their marriage more than maybe 5 years or so. However, there will come a time when their marriage is going to dull out, in the sense where they will go back to having a more traditional, more normal life that's not constantly being through the lens of the court of public opinion or the media, TV, cameras. It will go back to normal at some point, but Gypsy will get her life together personally. I do see her finding some sense of like she's going to find herself. She's going to find what she wants to do, and she's actually going to succeed in her professional life. I do see her making a good living at some point. I think that when Gypsy is going to enter her late 30s to early 40s is when she's really going to come into her own professionally. It will actually end up making more money than her husband. It seems that Ryan is kind of stuck at a bracket, and he's having a hard time getting a project or concept or a new job off the ground, and Gypsy is going to go on to make more money than him, which will be a point of contention in their marriage. Ryan is not going to be very happy about that, but it's more of an ego and a pride element, which they will overcome to a certain extent, but eventually I think that their marriage will kind of fizzle out. I think that Gypsy is going to move on and go to the next chapter of her life. It seems like she's definitely a little bit more impulsive than him. She definitely wants bigger and greater things in life, and she will end up realizing that, and she's going to make that decision to pack her things and eventually leave the marriage. So this is all I see, you guys. I thought it was kind of interesting. I didn't want to divulge into too much things, so again, this is all for entertainment purposes only. Don't sue me, please. And you guys have a good one. Bye.